Hello, bestie. So we're gonna have this child discussion because it keeps coming up, and I just need to talk about it. I just need to let you know. Just need to let you guys know why I keep saying we really don't care about kids as much as we say we do. I've learned in my studies of being on mountains and meditating with the Lord that parents have children for one of a few reasons. I want to say three, but there could be more. I don't know. We'll see where this list goes. My first reason that I've been seeing come up lately, or that I know to be true, is because people feel as if when they have their child that they will be a better parent than their parent. And so I believe subconsciously people feel as though that means that the child needs to exist in order to be that better parent. I will tell you how that doesn't make a lick of sense. For those of you who didn't catch on, you grow up in a household that you might call traumatic. Let's say. Let's say how ever one of your parents handled their emotions, they only ever displayed it as an overreaction or like a exaggerated response, whether it was sadness, anger, excitement, it was always over exaggerated. That for you is traumatizing because you never knew what parent you were getting. Maybe your parent was bipolar, maybe they had schizophrenia, maybe they didn't have anything, maybe they were on substances, maybe this was just them, and there's no rationale. Whatever traumatic thing about your relationship with your parent was, insert. Um, got distracted. I forgot what I was talking about. Parent. Oh yeah. And you say, I am going to be better. I will be better than my parents. I am not going to let them be me. So you have a baby. Some at the same age your mom probably had you. Even if you didn't, you had a baby. And now you're raising another human being. At no point did we go to therapy? You don't even have to go to therapy. At no point did we work on ourselves. At no point did we learn anything. At no point did we ask ourselves, what exactly? Oh, I'm yelling. What exactly are the characteristics of my parents that I don't like? Okay, you probably physically, can imagine them, whatever. What are you going to do instead? Because I think a lot of people forget this key important factor about existence, about life, is that you, you, Pook, you are, you are two halves of two souls, two genetically different people who are also two halves of two different souls that have come together to make you. These two halves of these two souls may or may not have raised you. If they did, you. No, yeah, no. If they did or if they did not, you are still two halves of these two individual souls that has come together into one being, genetically and spiritually, right? It means you share you share their patterns. When you're raised with them, you embody them quicker, or you recognize what you embody. They're imprinted in you because they're displaying them all the time. If they can't handle their emotions, you can't handle your emotions. Even if you weren't raised around them, genetically, spiritually, they pass that down to you. Whether they traumatized you or not, whatever your parents have been, whatever was passed down to them that they didn't work on, that they're just also embodying and modeling, that's you, Book. You are just them. I learned that at 8. And and I hated it because I only ever wanted to know who I was. Who am I outside of these two beings? Because I don't want to be like either of them. I love, I love people. I love my parents. I love humanity. I hate the behaviors. I have a right to. I don't want to be like either of them. I learned that ripe young age. This age is usually around 8 to 10. It's that primal choice time when you make lifelong decisions that will unfold the rest of your existence. Because whatever you ask for in that pure state at that age, that's what your life becomes. I said I want to know who I am, and I want to be the best version of myself. And I wanted to change the world by reaching every heart, one heart at a time. How poetic. For an 8-year-old. Mm-hmm. But yes, I wanted to know who I was outside of them, outside of my genetics, outside of this preconditioning, this all of what everybody said about me, because I didn't believe it. Again, I told you when I was younger, I knew I was destined for this. I just knew this was gonna be my life. You always know. You're just in denial about it. You can't escape the knowing. Um, but yeah, I wanted to know who I was, and so I made it my life's mission to not be like, to study them, to learn them. I've talked to them. I've picked up on their patterns. I learned the cycle. I healed. I had to heal first before I could approach them because I was never approaching them with the right energy. Because how can you possibly grow mentally, right, if you're limiting yourself on what you're willing to accept? I learned a lot about my parents. I see why their relationship didn't work. It wasn't supposed to. They they did what I see someone else currently in my life doing. They stayed longer than they were supposed to stay. And it's crazy because universe keeps putting this number. I don't know, it's 7, but like 7 years is usually the time when people fall apart if they're not supposed to be in a situation they're supposed to be in. It's like 7 days, 7 months, 7 years, whatever. It's always, I don't know, for me at least. It'll be different for everybody else probably. But like, um, I've noticed that they weren't. I listening to their stories back, I heard the discrepancies. I heard the pattern. I heard where they should have never pursued this further. But when people aren't listening to their intuition and the universe around them, ignorance is bliss until you learn the truth. And the craziest part is the truth comes out whether you want it to or not. So you might as well embrace it early, let go, and see what happens. This is not where this was going. I was talking about children. Back to Jesus. Yes, I was talking about kids. Um, but yes, kids are just y'all, people. We are just two halves of spirits, of multiple spirits conjoined into one being. You are no different then your parent, Pookie Bear, partially, if not entirely, because they created you. Hello? Now, if you want to be better than them, do what they didn't do and heal. That's where, that's what, if you don't, all you're doing is literally leads me to my second point with children. Y'all are having kids to put your traumas off on them for them to heal. You're using your child as, remember when I said that you, irregardless, someone has to heal the lineage, and you're gonna be the one, you're, irregardless, you're still gonna be the one going through it because it gets passed down through your child. Your child still harbors your spirit. Your physical spirit is literally within your child. You don't let little Tink Tink heal the lineage because you couldn't. That's sad. That's why some of y'all's kids don't respect you, don't quite frankly like you. And when they don't talk to you anymore, you can't be mad. That's what you wanted. They have to let you go to heal because all you're doing is keeping the cycle going. And honestly, you can still save them while you're alive, while they still exist, no matter how old they are. Anyone in your legacy could intervene. Your parent. Because I just said it. Every soul is just the same soul being passed down until somebody stops and wants better. So because y'all are all literally connected like a thread, think of it like those little people cutouts with the paper, and it's like the little people. It's that, but it's, if one person heals, the whole thread heals. Everyone will feel it. Everybody will get lifted up too. Not saying they won't have work to do. They have their own life, physical traumas every day that they have to experience because, again, they're their own independent person. However, it only takes one person to just make the lineage suffer a little less, a lot less, truly, every generation. And I made this promise to myself when I was younger too, and I forgot. I said I didn't want kids because I wanted my legacy to end with me. And in a way, I'm also going to talk about how what we say, it can be interpreted in multiple aspects. But like this, for instance, it's true because It is ending with me. I'm not doing the same cycles. I actually just realized the last relationship I was in would have put me right into my generational relationship with my parents. I would have went through the same 7-year cycle my parents went through had I stayed. I praised dance when I found that out because you will not trap me. And it was hard, but I beg to differ. And then sometimes it could be so much worse. But yeah, it's ending with me because now if I have kids, my kids might change the world. Quite frankly, anyone who comes into their lives. I mean, I low key already call the universe my baby dad. That's crazy. Um, but I yeah, people have kids and don't do the healing work. The other reason, the third reason, I guess you can say, what I recently learned after observing someone was that I realized that the other reason people have kids, it's because when people are in unhealthy relationships, it's the equivalent of let's have a baby. It'll fix it. But that baby just becomes the scapegoat because y'all don't want to deal with your issues. And so you invite a third entity to relieve you, to put all your anger towards because babies are responsibility. Kids are a responsibility because they're people that live with you forever. They're you. They're reflecting back you to you. How your kids treat you is how you treat yourself. I'm not joking. If they're your biological kids, it should be. I just said your spirits are all connected. How your significant other that procreated with you, or that person that procreated with you, and how you, however, both of y'all feel about each other and y'all selves is what your child will reflect back to you. Why do you and your child like me more than y'all like each other? Sounds like we're battling with some insecurity. It fascinates me when parents realize how just like them their child is, like that wasn't the point. And at no point does anyone ever ask themselves, do I think if me raising me alone is a good idea? Mm. You don't even brush your teeth. Mm-mm. Mm-mm. Some of y'all are procreating with people who don't even clean themselves properly. Mm. Throwing your pH off. Who ain't never ate a fruit in their life, a fruit or vegetable. Got the weakest immune system. I don't think people. I don't. I don't think we're picking people the way we used to. I think we've all become desperate and are just settling because we aren't even. We are I think Darwin needs to be resurrected. Maybe everybody's immune system's so weak because we keep breeding with weak people. Keep procreating with weak begets weak. A change. A change needs to be. Some of y'all are afraid to make eye contact. Y'all are afraid of public speaking about something you're teaching that nobody else has any information on that would even know if you said anything wrong. Some of y'all are breeding with people who won't even get on top of you. Won't even get you the towel. Don't even give you a good job, sport. Give me 10. Tell me I'm wrong. Quite frankly, the universe is disappointed. We should be thriving as a species. We got taken out by a virus that's afraid of masks and walls. Paper mask. Someone's gonna correct me. It's not paper. Whatever. People used to go to war. I'm not saying we're not going to war now, but people like we used to really die from serious things. We got taken out by something that only lasted 2 years. It was afraid of walls, distance, and mask. What are we doing? Why are we so weak? Viruses are energetic. They're not real. You can't hold a virus. That's why there's no antibodies or anything for it. It has no substance. It's energetic. Bacteria. has substance. You can take things for bacteria and fungus. Virus attacks your body in a way that we cannot physically infiltrate because it's energetic. But anyway, children. To go on my rant about children and about how much people care so much for their children, another reason for people having children is purely for domineering purposes. These are for the weak of the weak because you have to give birth to something to have something in your life that you can actually control. It's because you're already a puppet for somebody much bigger. And you just want a taste of what it feels like because it's happening to you. Isn't that like the whole bully theory? You keep going up, it's because that bully's getting bullied by their parent or, whatever. And you find out that parent's parent was an alcoholic and they were beaten. Yeah. See, it's like, it's a whole snowball thing. Same thing. So you have your child just so you can control them, just because you can't control any area in your life. You know what you could control? How you treat yourself. You can control your feelings. You can control your perspective of what's happening for you. And I say this all the time, I usually say it in a different way. But people being controlled, you might as well say that I usually say the victim has more power than they think they do, if not all the power. The person who's being controlled is being controlled for a reason. It's not because it's because you're allowing yourself to be hypnotized. You're giving your power away, but it's because you didn't believe you even had power to begin with. Because I ask you this, whatever role you're occupying was empty prior to you being there. It could be empty once again. And having to find someone to occupy it is a pain in the ass, especially for a manipulator. That's why they control you and make you feel like you have no options. Because why would any logical person believe that? Case in point, the child being the victim, let's say, being the victim has all the power. So manipulator's job is usually keeping them quiet. If you don't say nothing, it didn't happen. Which is sad because this is why so many DCF cases don't even go through. Kids don't say anything. That's what manipulators do. And what you'll find out is if it's true in one aspect, it's true in all. Meaning, if that's just what someone will do to a child, think about on a grander scale of manipulation. Anyway, no one cares about kids. A case in point. Um, yeah, keep them quiet. You wouldn't say anything? I mean, nothing, if nothing was said, nothing happened. If it wasn't documented, it didn't happen. If it wasn't reported, it didn't happen. And then they make you feel special. Because now that they've isolated you, they have to make you believe something, something positive. It all can't be negative. It has to be balanced. You are special. I chose you when no one else is. Because of me. Oh my, it's so funny. It's not funny, but it is. It's like, see, no one else was there for you when I was doing all of the terrible things to you. But me, I was there. I stayed. I comforted you after. I gave you relief after I triggered you and completely made you forget that. Because all you wanted was relief from the I was putting you through. And I know because I do it all the time. It was probably done to me. And this is just how I think life goes. Doesn't that pattern sound familiar? Isn't that how generational curses